I went through my pile of albums I was considering purging. I think 9 or 10 albums. I've decided to keep these ones. They're not going to be mind-blowing albums in any stretch of the imagination, but they're all in fantastic shape, and they're good albums to listen to, enjoyable albums. So come in and see what I'm talking about. Good morning, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. Hope you're having a great morning this morning. It is Tuesday morning, as always, a coffee kind of morning. Cheers, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, I think I've finalized everything as far as what I'm going to keep and what I'm not going to keep. Um, my second bedroom is full of stuff that just has to go. I don't know when I'll do that though. Probably when the weather clears up. I'm just not in the mood to do that right now. But I think I've saved 9 or 10 albums from the purge bins. Nothing mind blowing, but still great stuff to listen to, enjoyable stuff to listen to. Some Canadian bands that you got to treasure them because, being proud Canadian, they're still awesome bands. Um, Starting with this one here, this is a 12-inch single by The Pursuit of Happiness, and their big hit, I'm an Adult Now. Um, I wouldn't call them a one-hit wonder, but this was a big hit on Much Music and MTV. Canadian power pop band led by Mo Berg, I believe from Toronto. Again, their big hit, I'm an Adult Now. It's on the We label. It's just fun to put on every once in a while. Another great Canadian band, Prism, formed in 1977 from Vancouver. You got hard rock and some pop on there as well. This is their debut album, released in 1977. It's on the GRT label. Produced by Bruce Fairbairn. And the majority of songs are written by Jim Vallance, who also worked with Bryan Adams. So you got some big heavy hitters on this one. This was a platinum selling album. You got the huge hit Spaceship Superstar on this one. And that kind of became their signature song on classic rock radio for sure. But yeah, I'm going to keep Prism. Cover's a little worn here, but the vinyl's in fantastic shape. I'm going to keep this Greatest Hits album here. This is Kenny Rogers in the first edition. This is a Canadian release, 1971 release. It's on the Reprise record label. You got some big hits on this one. These guys were psychedelic at the time when psychedelic wasn't a thing. You got Ruby, Don't Take Your Love to Town, Something's Burning. Just dropped in to see what condition my condition was in, even though they dropped it down to just dropped in. Tell It All, Brother, Heed the Call, Mama's Waiting, Ruby James, But You Know I Love You, I Believe in Music, and Love Woman. Yeah, it was cool looking Kenny in the top corner. It's in fantastic shape. I don't know when this came out. 1971, I guess, in Canada. Yeah. I've debated on this one back and forth, but I'm going to keep it. The Asia debut album. This is probably their only album that I really like as far as what Asia gives you. You got, of course, bassist and lead vocalist John Wetton from King Crimson, Uriah Heep in UK, Steve Howe from Yes, keyboardist Jeffrey Dowse from Yes, and the Buggles, and drummer Carl Palmer, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. A super group full of amazing artists. This is again their debut album, 1982 release, their best-selling album. You got Heat of the Moment on this one. Yeah. Soul Survivor. What else is on here? Wildest Dreams is another great track. Without You. It's on the Geffen label. It was huge at the time. but I'm going to keep this one. Two from another Canadian band, Streetheart. You've got Meanwhile Back in Paris, and you've got Under Heaven and Hell. Streetheart was a great Canadian band from Regina, Saskatchewan, and then they moved to Winnipeg, Manitoba. They did some great covers. Here Comes the Night by them. What Kind of Love Is This? And then they also did a fantastic cover of Under My Thumb by the Stones. Three of the members of Streetheart went on to form or become part of Loverboy. You got guitarist Paul Dean, drummer Matt Fredette, and bassist Kenneth Spider Sanav. You've also got the great lead singing vocalist of Kenny Shields, who unfortunately passed away with heart issues some time back. Meanwhile Back in Paris is their debut album by Streetheart, 1978 release. Got two singles on this one, Action, which is fantastic, and Look at Me. Yeah, cool stuff. It's on the Atlantic label. Some ringwear on this one, but again, the vinyl's in great shape. I want to get a new cover one day. And Under Heaven, Over Hell. I think I said And Hell. But 1979, Under Heaven, Over Hell, the second album. Again, this one's got the cover of Under My Thumb by the Stones, and Here Comes the Night by them. Both charting in Canada. This would be the last album to feature Matt Fredette, the drummer, as he left to join Loverboy, unfortunately. But fantastic drummer. There's a cool shot of the band. These guys are just a great rock band. Cool vocals by Kenny. A band that should have been bigger, for sure. This is kind of a cool album. This is Brian Cadd, White on White. He was a big Australian singer-songwriter, keyboardist, producer, record label founder, kind of a staple in the Australian entertainment industry for 50 years. This is his fourth album, released 1976. Peaked at number 93 on the Australian charts. He's got his style is kind of right in the middle of Elton John, Randy Newman, Billy Joel. If you like those three artists, you're gonna like this one. It's a decent album. Kind of grows on you. It's not mind-blowing, but it's very enjoyable. You get All the Way, That They Use My Face, White on White Eldorado, WCIC, great catchy numbers. Again, people that are into the artists that I mentioned, Elton John, Randy Newman, and Billy Joel, will probably get into this album for sure. Great stuff. I have to keep this one. Allman Brothers Band, Brothers and Sisters. The fourth album by the band, 1973 release. You got new members on here, Chuck LaBelle on piano and Lamar Williams on bass, after the death of Barry Oakley, the bassist, who just couldn't get over the death of Duane Allman. Dickie Betts takes over a lead role on this one, so it becomes more of a country-inspired sound for the band, but it was also a commercial peak for the band. 7 million copies sold worldwide. You got Ramblin' Man on this one, becoming one of the big hits for the band, and it's on the Capricorn Records label. This one is fantastic stuff. And finally, another Canadian artist, kind of a one album guy. He wasn't into fame, and he wasn't into being in the spotlight, but this is a good album. This is a good album. I keep putting it aside, and I keep bringing it out. I keep putting it aside. I just like this one. This is Indio and Big Harvest. Kind of a folk rock album. It's a stage name for Canadian singer-songwriter Gordon Peterson. This is the only album that he released in 1989. It's got the top 10 hits, Hard Sun on this one. he grew up around Hamilton area, which is southern Ontario, south of Toronto. Um, the name Indio came about when he was recording half of this, the second half of this album, and he went for a drive into Mexico. And before he crossed the California-Mexico border, there was a town called Indio, and that name kind of stuck with him. So he named his album Indio, or his stage persona Indio. Again, he wasn't comfortable being in the spotlight, and he was also sensitive to industry demands at the time. So he kind of walked away from the business after this album was released. This one took 2 months to record. You got high-profile artists on this one. You got Hamilton guitarists Bill Dillon and Dave Rhodes. Dave Rhodes worked with Peter Gabriel. You got Larry Klein on bass, New York singer Brenda Russell on backing vocals, Joni Mitchell on backing vocals, Karen Paris from the Innocent Mission on backing vocals, and you also have Indian violinist L. Subramanian. Hard Sun was the big single off the album, and that hit the charts. Spent 10 weeks in the charts. Also, it was right up there, along with Frozen Ghost and Blue Rodeo and Bruce Cockburn, Glass Tiger, Sheriff, all these big Canadian hits. And then he was also nominated for a Juno Award for Most Promising Group in the 1990 Juno Awards. And then there was a lawsuit. Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam covered the single Hard Sun and a Sean Penn movie, Into the Wild. And Peterson didn't appreciate that, so he filed a lawsuit against Eddie Vedder in 2009. And they kind of settled out of court. The suit was dismissed, and then there was kind of an undisclosed settlement from this one. So he kind of had to come back out in the spotlight. But great album. Again, only one and done album by Indio, but great stuff. So there you have it, guys. I think there's 9 albums there that I've going to save from the Purge bin, and I hope you enjoyed. Love you all. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.